Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Taylor Teaches English. I am your host, your sole host for now, Teacher Taylor. So, before we get into this, you can email me at tteachesenglish@gmail.com, tteachesenglish@gmail.com. You can also listen to audio stories that I record and post to another podcast, and that is called Voiced Audio, VOICE apostrophe T audio, AUDIO. Okay, guys, in the previous vocabulary lesson, we went over some concepts about family. We talked about aunts and aunts. We talked about brothers, cousins, daughters, grandparents, grandchildren. Now we're going to continue with different types of people. So let's start with some words. Let's review some words. First, we're going to go through some here. Acquaintance, baby, boy, child, friend, girl, guest, host, hostess, man, neighbor, teenager, visitor, woman. So these are different types of people. Let's go through some exercises and help us better understand these. What is a baby? A baby is a person that can be described as under the age of 2. A baby is a person under the age of 2. A boy is a young male. A boy is a young male. A child is a person under the age of 13. A child is a person under the age of 13. A friend, someone you know well and like. A friend is someone you know well and like. Girl, a young female. Girl is a young female. Man, a grown-up male. Man, a grown-up male. Neighbor, a person who lives or works near where you live or work. Neighbor is a person who lives or works near where you live or work. Teenager, a person between the ages of 13 and 19. Teenager, a person between the ages of 13 and 19. Woman, a grown-up female. Woman, a grown-up female. Let's continue with some more words. Acquaintance, a person one knows slightly, but who is not a close friend. Acquaintance, a person that you know slightly, but who is not a close friend. Guest, a person who is invited to the home or to take part in a function organized by someone else. A guest is a person who is invited to visit the home of or take part in a function organized by someone else. Host, a person who receives or entertains other people as guests. Host, a person who receives or entertains other people as guests. Hostess, a woman who receives or entertains guests. Hostess is a woman who entertains or receives guests. Hostess is a woman who receives or entertains guests. Visitor, a person visiting a person or place, especially socially or as a tourist. Visitor is a person going to a place, especially socially or as a tourist. Since we have reviewed the definitions of these words, let's put some of these into sentences. I'm not going to put every single word into a sentence, but I will use several of them. Please listen carefully. We'll start with baby. Your baby looks like he's 1 year old. Child. That child does not look old enough to get on that ride. That child does not look old enough to get on the ride. Neighbor. I have 6 neighbors on my street. I have 6 neighbors on my street. Guest. My neighbor invited me to be his dinner guest. I will show up at 7 p.m. My neighbor invited me to be his dinner guest. I will show up at 7 p.m. Hostess. My neighbor's wife is the hostess for the party. She set up the party and invited all the guests. My neighbor's wife is the hostess for the party. She set up the party and invited all of the guests. Visitor. I am a visitor in China. I don't live here. Visitor. I am a visitor in China. I don't live here. Thank you for listening to this episode of Taylor Teaches English. If you have any questions, you can email me at tteachesenglish@gmail.com. That's tteachesenglish@gmail.com. Feel free to ask me any questions or give me any comments and suggestions. Thank you for listening.